Hey everyone, it's Roy Cruz and Son of Beast here. This is the last game of the night of the NHL on EA Sports. This matchup is the finish to the beginning before the in-regular season tournament. The Calgary Flames face against the Winnipeg Jets on the other side. This is the last part of it of the Canadian matchup. We're seeing things big if anything goes on. As tonight's starting goaltenders is Connor Hellebuyck and Dustin Wolf for Calgary Flames and Winnipeg Jets. These are the last twos that will be finishing things off. As for now, Calgary Flames has not been able to have it introduced here into the playoffs as they already had lost a lot of consecutive repetitions here in every other games. But now, this is another thing that they will have to do is to try to work things off and find if there is anybody to try to help them in. It can be one or the other. Now, as to start off, as we look at the starting goaltenders here, as for the X Factor players, starts with Winnipeg Jets. Here's one thing for Winnipeg. Mark Scheifele with the quick release and a big rig along with the no contest zones, with the battling strength happens to be only one clearance at a time. With Connor Hellebuyck, who has a dial in with advanced reflexes on the consecutive saves. Kyle Gunner with the wheels and the quick release zones, with Josh Morrissey. That only happens to be Illy Edges and send it pass with the stick 'em up ability. Then Gabe Velarde with only the quick release, the tape zones. Neil Pionk with the Illy Edges and a rocket blast. Then Adam Lowry with the born leader. And then Cole Perfetti with the tape and the spark plug. And finally is Veliciav Damslikov. Tape to tape is a great way to show things off. Now for the Flames. We have one thing that's uncommon, Dustin Wolf with the dialed-in effort, along with Jonathan Huberdeau with the tape-to-tape zones, then Miguel Backlund with the quick draw and the quick pick, Blake Coleman, the big break and a dominating puck protection. Morgan Frost from the Philadelphia Flyers is now the Illy Edges and the quick release. Dylan Strome with the tape-to-tape zones from the Anaheim Ducks. And then it's Victor Olofsson with the quick release and except the quick shot releases. And lastly, it's Joel Farabee from the Flyers. Pressure brings on. Now let's get on and see what gets in. My next and last part of the Game of the Night commentaries I have is Brody, and he's also, along with the other side of it, the new commentary of the crew is Chucky Charlie or Charlie. And the third commentary of the crew is Tyre, and the center ice, it's all for anything that gets its name, and that brings up with Rogers. We'll see you all later, folks, for the intermission and the post-game show after this. Now it's time to finish things off, and stay tuned for the announcements as there will be the standings that will go face-to-face each other after the game. Flames, Jets, next on EA Sports. It's big night here in Calgary. It's here at the Scotiabank Saddledome. Hey folks, I am Brody and I'm here with my broadcasting partner along with Charles, Chucky, and Tyre. And the third commentary of the crew, I give a warm welcome to me from 11. It's about that time to get started. The frozen biscuit is chopped and we are underway here at Scotiabank Saddledome. Starting goaltenders for in between for the Winnipeg Jets and Calgary Flames. We have it across as Dustin Wolf for the Flames and Connor Hellebuyck, starting goaltender for the Winnipeg Jets. Starting off will be the big break here. This will be Blake Coleman. You'll find the Farabee and looks over to Bale. Bale will start it up, now find it over to Farabee. Farabee finding over to Bale, and he has again to Farabee in the other hand. Slings it back over to Whitecloud. This one is taken over by Alex Iafallo. Coleman will swing that one out of here. He'll dump that zone in the Winnipeg territory. Here's Scheifele. He'll start over to Dylan DeMello. Kyle Connor rushes over toward it, and Miguel Backlund take it back over to Whitecloud. Swings to Coleman. Coleman goes back over into the again. A swing to Bale. Here's her again to Frost finding the Whitecloud. Bale will take the new change. Frost shocks a save by Hellebuyck. Hellebuyck with his first save of the game. This will stop with under 18 minutes. This pass to the 2-minute mark. Now this startup only happens to be one because the last part of its stadium in Scotiabank Saddledome, as it gives its final farewell to the last part of the game, And it's there. I'll be moving into a new arena. I'll be starting off soon. Yeah, of course. I mean, I really have to say that this is only the change-up that they're really good for. And now, they definitely are now getting a new arena here for Calgary Flames. It's going to be a great start of it to show how it goes by. Smash right toward the wall, and it goes right into the bench. What a fan reaction. As Kuznetsov, as Coronado knocks it down. What a sick kick down. That's a great start of it to have that huge save. He really did. It's been amazing of it. Looking very good. Comfortably as a great stoppage. It's a very nice takedown. Watch what happens with Matt Coronado. And it goes right toward into the bench. That knocks it pretty clearly. Very good. So the first knockdown only happens with Calgary Flames as we already passed the 17-minute mark. Past 3 minutes. Frost wins the draw. And now back over to Pareke. Kuzenkov to find the Coronado, and a rebounding again by the Flames. They'll slow things down. Pass given, and Adam Lowry will take it off. Winnipeg shot saved by Dustin Wolf. This will go back to Kuzenkov. We'll send it around the other way to Sorankovic. Sorankovic finding to Kuzenkov, and he looks over to Perret. Flames will kick it the other way into the Jets territory. Sends over around the net. That pass broken up here for the Flames is taken away by Josh Morrissey. Looks over to Perfetti. Changes over into the bench. Whitecloud giving it back over in the offense, and it'll be an icing on Winnipeg Jets. With the start off of this, guys, it's really what they are expecting it now for the Jets and the Flames. One Flames has made it to the playoffs since 2022, and the Winnipeg Jets, on the other hand, had made it to the playoffs 3 consecutive years before it goes to the downstrike. Yeah, it is a downstrike afterward. When we are seeing things about the Winnipeg Jets, they really are starting to work a lot of comfortably on offense. But now, they're starting to go soon, and it's just really like how bad it gets. Yeah, really, I gotta say now that the Flames are definitely one of the perfect team. And probably that the Winnipeg Jets are better at a higher advantage. I think it looks like their odd bets might be on their opponents. They're still in strong playing to bail. It looks to Olsen. Olsen shot deflected off of the glove, and it's back up by Connor Hellebuyck. He sends it over to Adam Lowry. Winnipeg the other way in the Flames territory. Got in motion and bounding. Gives it away by Ball. Bale goes knocking down right toward the Jets territory. That one swings and misses. Connor Zary clears it out. All the way down. Icing on the Flames. 13:23 to go in the first period. This will stop in motion to get ready for another puck drop. All right, let's send over into the center ice. I will now have it up. It's Meat from 11 to show what he has. Meat from 11, take it away. Thank you so much, Joe Brody. One thing we are noticing about is Dustin Wolf. His great save is a great impact to show how it's going to get. The kill-off motion doesn't mean if it's always that great, but the simple is, it doesn't mean that he has all the contribution to change all from the unstoppable forcing on the hugest quick reactions and shock and awe. This big motion happens to be Dustin Wolf to play his motion on offense. He's really up for something. But we have a lot of it in common to find out who had a better save of this night between Hellebuyck and Wolf. I'll be keeping an eye here on Dustin Wolf to have a huge save. Gordy, back to you. Thank you, me from 11. Now Nyquist will have it again to Josh Morrissey. You see the biggest rebound happened to be with the Winnipeg Jets. I'm really just going to try to center things off again. Connor Zary to find over to pass over to Miguel Backlund. And that one cups it up. Jets gets a rebound as Coke K is right in toward the wing. Dumps that one out. Dustin Wolf will get a backhander and a new line group change for the Wolves. Defending it up for the Flames. Flying over to Zary. Here's another one to Kopka. Kopka shot clip save by Connor Hellebuyck. Only 10:50 to go in the first period. And they're ready for another punch-up. Big Eyes don't take out that one seemingly. We noticed about Connor Hellebuyck. He has a great stage to show things up. But this regular season tournament is going to be very, very different. And it may not be the fact of it that they're going to do it all again. Let's send to Kuznetsov. This one is caught up by the stick. Has it back. Kuznetsov right around the boards. Sends over. Trying to get away with it, and Lombard will have to reset the group. Klapka, the wing, around the net. And a taken away by Kyle Connor. This was big bad changes happening to the Flames, and they really did not seem to care for it. They need to find some regroup. Here's Klopka the other way now for the Flames. He'll send it to Kuzmenkov. Lomberg shot. It's blocked up and rebounded by Frost. Kuzmenkov now finding Hamada. Here's another one for the Flames. Gives to Lomberg. Goes right to the corner to Kuzmenkov. Kuznetsov. Backhander. Can't get a cut motion here. Go right into the middle. And the Flames will have it taken out. Here comes a big break. Marchefeli. What a save by Dustin Wolf. Stops it completely on Mark Scheifele to deny the effort. And they're up for another puck drop. What a big save here has happened to Dustin Wolf. This goes unlucky, but that's another huge save. I agree. That doesn't save on Dustin Wolf. Happened to be only with Mark Scheifele. You got a great look and just got a comfortable scoring upwards. It doesn't make the change afterwards. Now to Nary for the next puck trap as the Flames and the Winnipeg Jets still scoreless, passing the midway mark. And a win for the Jets. Here's a shot saved by Wolf, and Mata will have it again over the tying to cross. Calgary's back into Winnipeg territory. Slips in motion, another save made by Kyle Releva. Here's Hanley not fighting to Mata. Mata fighting to Sorenkovic. He'll send a pass to Henley. Hanley now finds it to Sorenkovic. He looks to Mata. Mata, no change-up look here. Sorenkovic with the shot saved by Connor Hellebuck. Sorenkovic. One time for Hanley, shot wide. Frost tries to get a little bit of a spill afterwards. Now fighting to Mata. Hanley will fake. This time will now make a new change-up here to Coronado. Coronado in trouble. Hanley now fighting to Sorenkovic. On a shot, deflected off too soon. And Lambert will have it again over to Josh Morrissey. Here's Rosen the other way for the Jets. But the shot never gets dialed in, saved by Wolf. Rebound by Rosen. Oh, shot! Another save made by Wolf. Full pressures on Winnipeg Jets. Shot stop made by Wolf. 6:28 to go in the first period. He'll try to hold things on a bit, adjust a comfortable scoring. Now let's go over to the Winnipeg Jets territory. Back to me for 11. Let's see what your takes are. All right, thanks, Sir Brody. And the last thing we are looking at it, the biggest take is on Dustin Wolf, but the same thing goes with Connor Hellebuck. The last time he has played it for was on his big arm motion. Great effort doesn't mean the shot, but it really takes all with this huge dial in. The focus of this effort is a great reaction. The competition of the goaltenders are very that simple between the American and the different part of a country that they played for. Connor Hellebuck is one of a famous star to play all of his career. No better effort doesn't mean the tricks, but it really turns it to be how they did. They really have to show everyone to give that stuff on the board. What we notice about Connor Hellebuck is a quick dialed-in transaction. I'll be finding out here and see what the first goal takes in a range between the Jets or the Flames. Back to you. Bob Sipsville wins the faceoff, and here's Parade. Perrick now finding over to Kuznetsov. He looks over to Kloppa. Here come the Flames the other way, as now is Kloppa. A send pass off to Kuznetsov, finding to Perrick. Perrick shoots, another save, and a dialed in by Holodup. We really get a nice save in this one. No change-up has been made, but that really took it all they can. Here goes for number one to Cole Perfetti. Perfetti knocked him from the board, trying to help him out. Can't get away with it, and another save by Dustin Wolf. Murray clears it out, unable to clear it. Trying to stop that effort. Delta with the rebound. Looks over. Now Popstill will send it out of here, and icing is on the Flames. 4:13 to go in the first period. No score in the game between the Jets and the Flames. Now they're ready for another faceoff. 6:04 was the Flames that they put on in a nice race to have that timing effort. They do. I mean, I gotta say what happens with bowling the Flames, they really are starting to get that little pop off, and immediately they got to try to watch it carefully. Oh, what a dialed-in save by Dustin Wolf, and Coleman's back to Puck so. Well, you can definitely see that. This reaction goes with the big look and big time on the ranging. That was a nice save by Dustin Wolf. Fans really love it. Here's another one to Perry. Perry finding to Kuznetsov, and a shot. Close save by Holodup. Yeah, DeMello will have it again over to Connor. What a diving play. Huge save on opportunity to have that reach out. This extension does happen to make anyone compete by Vasilevsky and Marshall. Here's Kyle Connor the other way for the Jets. With the shot, he blocked up by Coleman. Under 3 minutes in the first period of the game, he finds Vepsipsil, can't get it out. Klopper with the rebound, back to Dylan DeMello, and here's Kyle Connor. Coleman giving back that fine over to Parade. Parade sends it deep. We'll have it around his own, the Vepsipsil. Knocked him away. Rebound by Klopper. Flames control it out in the Jets territory. Chris Vetzkoff now finding to Parade. Parade. Kuznetsov. Parade. Shoots one. Another save by Hellebuyck. This will stop and play before nearing the 90-second mark in the first period. There was a lot of big effort opportunity here and there. The Flames, they're really starting to have a lot of energizing there. Frost it out. They can't lose the effort here. Another winning faceoff as Kevin Bell has it to Whitecloud. Whitecloud, motion range shot saved by Hellebuyck. So Rankovic now finds it up. And here's Coronado with the shot. There's a save again. Frost rebounds it. And back to Rankovic. Under a minute remaining in the first period, he finds it to Coronado. That's a lot of force we need you have to do for. Don't make that mess up mistaken. Another pass by Serenkovic on the shot. Put a rebound in. Denied by Hellebuyck. Bale shoots, blocked. Serenkovic looks in and scores! Here goes Serenkovic. Team starts with a 1-0 lead. Well, this is the rebounding when you need to be doing for it. A lot of big save by Hellebuyck. This is where one changes the problem. Serenkovic is really making a good look. And watch this here. That cutoff is going to beat off by the goaltender. He wasn't really sure how that one was going to surprise him, but that really made him look clean. You got to say about Serenkovic with the rebounding, and he was right onto it. He got away from Velaskovs and by Serenkovic the other way. You have to see that clearly. When the Flames have that good motion, this is controlled. This is not what they always take in for, but they have a lot of periods of time to get that one cleared out. They have nowhere to be rooming it out, but that is the first part of the goal for the night. And a send-off to Bale, and Bale will send to Serenkovic, and therefore we end the first period to send deep and save by Hellebuyck. It's 1-0. Big start off for Serenkovic, his first goal of the game. They get it on the board, a 1-0 start over Winnipeg. We'll see you back later for the second period after these messages. Hey folks, welcome to the first edition of the NHL Game of the Night on EA Sports. There's a lot of big action here going on as we have to start off between from the Flames and the Jets. With the action tracker, here's how they did on their own. This is pretty much shots that they did for the Winnipeg Jets. Then for the Flames, they found one goal and it's part of Yegor Serenkovic. That's his first goal of the game. He has now 18 of his goal of the season, and he's trying to look off comfortably on the fast pace. And for the coach's feedback, they showing us a little bit of a strong effort. I mean, we're really playing it harder, but we have to see what they can get through it. And here's how they did after the first period. It was 15 over 11 shots on goal for Calgary Flames over Winnipeg, 8 over 5 hits for Calgary Flames, then 617 over 107 for Calgary's time on attack. 90 over 80% on the passing effectiveness for Winnipeg Jets, and 7 over 6 faceoff wins was Calgary Flames. When the start-off goes by, I'll have it over to you, Roy Cruz, for the first goal for Calgary Flames. Well, the Flames really have started it off in appearances. It doesn't mean that they are really starting to get off that big here, but they really did show things up. It was pretty how convenience that they did for. Not a big change off to be a Fantasia on the back of the thriller. Serenkovic with the first part of the goal only made that one. But as for the great save by Hellebuyck, it wasn't pretty clear afterwards to get that one away. Doesn't mean the fact? Well, they don't seem to care for it. They don't bother it. But how they will do is they're going to have to try to figure this out to have a great saves by in between Dustin Wolf and for the Flames for the Calgary and for the Plains of this offense is going to be a one much timing. Now it's over to you there, Son of Beast, for the Winnipeg Jets. Well, the Jets had started it off at the great start of it, and as I mentioned it before, Connor Hellebuyck had a huge, marvelous saves to have that start off before the end of the first period where it goes missing and dagging it out without a stamina and the reach timing effort. That's the part of the first goal that they really started off. No complications, nothing to be seen of, but that's the Flames that they have that great first goal in the look. They really are starting to show off big here for tonight. They don't really have to start showing it off too soon. And as for Yegor Stankovic, first goal of the game, got to show some energy out to the crowd. Well, therefore, as we end the first intermission here, we go back to Calgary Flames of the Scotiabank Saddledome. And now, resuming it in, will be all the change to see what it gets. Now I return my broadcast partner with Brody and Charles Chuck and Tyre for the second period to start. We'll see you later, folks, for the second intermission, and we'll see what changes between the two Canadian teams. Now, back to the game. Welcome back as we're ready to get started for the second period, and we are all hyped, ready to go. Second period begins now here at Scotiabank Saddledome. Let's see what takes on between the Flames and Jets. All right, there's folks. I have the great start off for the first period, as I'll send it over to you, Charles, and on the other way, Tyre, for the first period recap. What's your thought about this? Well, the start-off really made it great clearly to have that first goal. This is a great starting for the Flames. They really are making a lot of huge comeback to the range. Start off at each period really can give really a lot harder. But the great first goal happens to be Yegor Stankovic. Sharankovic with the first score of the goal. It's clearly at the good start of it. You can't really say about it now, but as the Jets are starting to battle for this, they have a lot of enforcement to have that attack. Yeah, same with me. I mean, this could definitely be like how hard they're going to get. Famously, noticing, I noticed that everybody's trying to selling things down a little bit. But the Flames, they definitely willing to start taking a little bit of the flame out to go with the ring of fire to knock down with the Jets. This is definitely without Mackenzie Weezer and Nazem Kadri for tonight. It is definitely slow. I mean, we always going to say, I mean, there could be any great players here for the Flames, but let's hope that they have it. Here's Sharankovic defending the pass. He goes right toward the board. Powerful shot saved up by Elba. Samuelson will have it again to Iafallo, and the Winnipeg Jets will continue here as Nyquist is right toward the wing. Shoots one and is saved by Dustin Wolf. Blue sends up right around the board of the checking. Finding over the toes. He looks to Nyquist. Nyquist looks over. A shot in the range, corner range, stopped by Kuzvensov. And here's over to Farabee. Calgary's back in offense zone. Will try to fire it around the net. And there's Sprouse. That's the send over now finding the Mata. You'll have it again to Hanley. Hanley looks to Mata. They'll try to make new changes here. Pressing. Back to Mata. Over again to Farabee. Farabee in the corner. Goes back over again, now finding Mata. Looks again to Hanley. Hanley shoots one for deflection and saved up by Elwell. 15:49 to go in the second period. And they'll get ready for our next puck drop. Flames still be the better team over the Winnipeg Jets. It is 17 over 13 shots on goal, and it's still 1-0. Lowry wins the draw. Samuelson will get it over the other way, and now here's the Jets. They're changing up in the other way. Zari took it over. Flames rush into the Jets' territory. Here's in our offensive zone, and now back to Olofsson. Olofsson looks to Zari. Zari looks to Olofsson. Olofsson shot for the wrister. Shot saved up by Elba. Another takeover. A bad turnover here. That will change things up as Wolf will send it over right across by Zari. That's a little bit of a mistake in here for the Flames. They are starting to have that bad pass going all the way around, zipping into the Flames territory. They're starting to get a little bit of a precautious going on. They have to watch where they're going. They cannot let it mess up. Here's a pass over, and that one gets it over. Now finding Gabe Velarde, and there's Cole Perfetti the other way. Cole Perfetti with the cut around. This stops. Kloppa, right in net. Rebound up by Zari. Zari to pass to Kloppa. Again to White Cloud. Calgary's back in offense zone. Taken away by Toes. Here's Kyle Connor now for Winnipeg Jets. The Flames go back into the Jets' territory. Steadies to the attack by Kevin Bell. Right around the net. Pops it still. Pass to Lundberg. Now fighting to get into White Cloud. Back to Lundberg. Lundberg shoots for Wister. Papa with the rebounding. And he cannot get through. It goes back to Toes. And Kyle Connor will go the other way. It's pretty inconvenient, though. I mean, there's a huge knockdown skill for the Flames. They're really starting to get a little bit of aggressive. They can't be seemingly to hang on perfectly. This is big takes off, and really with changing over. And bad turnovers could happen. So the Lumber took a spill down for the Jets. Well, now finding the White Cloud. Here's the Klopka. Back on ice. Again. And back in the middle. Frost goes back to White Cloud. Flames in trouble. Zorankovic finding the Klopka. Two guys will sit out. Klopka. Nowhere to go. Maroon finding the Connor. And here comes the Flames on defense. Took a drag stick by Kuzmentsov, and the poke check sets to Zorankovic. Nowhere to be given here. That's Toes will send it the other way. Zorankovic took it back. Open lip. Broken by Sandberg. Another turnover for the Flames. And the Flames will have it now. They started to get a little bit of worse here. I mean, now they're passing the midway mark. They have to watch where they're seemingly to go. Otherwise, it's going to be another turnover to get. Ross shots back, kicked out by Connor Rolovac. He's really starting to show things. The clear doesn't mean the message to them. Zorankovic right around the net. Farby now has it over. A pass back to Mala. And here's their change-up to Hanley. Hanley looks over. The pass is another big broken turnover. Mata will try to swing it out. Zorankovic and Hanley will now decide to give a new regroup here. Hanley in trouble. Zorankovic try to answer it out, and now Frost will have it. Coming back on ice for the Flames is Coronado. That's bad turnover by Kyle Connor. Past midway mark in the second period. And they're starting to look for an odd man rush. Shot another save by Wolf. And as Hanley will start to stay it out, Frost will have it. He seemingly is going to get a lot of intentional credit. They can't lose that to strength, and they can definitely try to keep it rolling. Hanley between the net. On the shot range, deflects it off. Stopped by Hellebuck, and he'll be hanged on to find Sandberg. He's really trying to give everybody attentional feed. Now that's Frost. He's getting a rebounding. He's trying to get that perfect help. Sauced over to Frost. Frost, pass broken up. Frost looks to Coronado. Off the stick of the blade. Toes steps on Coronado. Coronado to pass the ball. White Cloud got caught off by Kyle Connor quickly and back over to Winnipeg in the Flames territory. Bell takes that one out. We'll send it out of here. Samuelson around the back of the board. A bad turnover for the Jets. Bell shots blocked. Samuelson with the rebound, caught in traffic. They can't really seemingly get it all the way with this, and they're really starting to get a little pick off between the legs. But you don't want that to get away from that. This is really starting to make hugest knockdowns in the turnover. And this will not be an icing as the Flames still have onside icing. Zari shot for deep. Given away by Sandberg, and this will get back to Nyquist. Now find it over. Sandberg. Take a little bit of that saucer pass to find the Toes, and here's Nyquist. Nyquist the pass, broken up. Kuznetsov now finds to Parade. And he's back over to Zari. He looks over to Strong. Strong stops it here, and it will still get a stoppage in play with only 5:28 to go in the second period. Big hustles only mean the matter. But there's only one thing left that we will have out in common enough to find who has in their next goal. But it's a big chain off to have it here. I'll send it over to Newport 11 and see what his stats are. Well, the most of it in common and facing him, it was really making the hugest of a save. But there's a lot of big Jets takedown and defensive effort. It really is starting to show things off, and the appearances is really turning out to be how bad they are. There's no big contest zones. They've just had to keep on attacking. They really have too many opportunities to try to change things up. The Flames still don't have an answer to this. Winnipeg Jets are trying to get that tie in game, but they still don't have an answer. What's the choice going in the range? If the Flames will get it or the Jets will tie it. This is the big question out there, Brody. We're really watching this one is show what's done. Indeed so. Thank you very much, Jimmy 411. Hanley, he shoots it deep, he scores! Total Farby deflects it, and that is a 2-0 lead. The Flames goes right on the line. but deflected by the Flames over in the net. A lot of play this up for this. And watch what happens when you see that handling. That it goes right into the deflection off of Farabee, and that great goal contacts it to have that nice goal on the stick. That deflects it, and that is a great help for the Flames. Didn't really think it was going to be easy enough. No, I don't think so. They really took it in a deflection and took it right toward the net. What a big takedown. This is the Flames in the work of their territory. They're really starting to get that appearance, and it's not just only one, it's multiple options that they're trying to do for the Flames to get it back in there. Took a big hit down by Hanley. And pops it still. We'll send it around the net. Here's again to Klopka. Now finding it again to Mata. Hanley, number one chance. Pops still in the backhand there on the shot. It's stopped by Hellebuck. And there'll be a delay penalty. That's going to be on the Winnipeg Jets. Starting up pretty badly here. And this is now going to be the extra man on. And they're going to have to start showing up how it's done. Here's Hanley to back over to Backlund. Backlund shots blocked. Pops it with the rebound. And give it back by the Flames. Under 3 minutes to go in the second period. Shots blocked again by DeBello. And now again to Bell. Looks over to Lindbergh. Tries to get a little bit of a swing. Pass to Backlund, and will stop the play, and this will be an interference on Adam Lowry.
Winnipeg penalty number 17.
See what I mean? When this is a huge change-up happens to be Adam Lowry, he really got a little bit of a knockdown, and that's pretty what is concerned of the Winnipeg Jets. That's the first penalty kill to get it.
All right,
Flames will start their first power play effort in the Winnipeg Jets territory, and this will be the first advantage for the Flames. Start off with the Flames advantage is going to need to start seeing something gets big. And the Flames, what they need to do is they got to be very, very careful because the Jets are going to start making that high off the mark. It doesn't seem like it's going to change it off. I don't think it may not be anybody. It's Joel Farabee entering the attacking in the zone. Now trying to get back to Coronado. Here's Farabee. A shot. That one is off and missed high up the net. Farabee now finding Coronado. Looks over the power arcade. 3 minutes remaining in the mid-period. Austin Price. Shot. Another great save opportunity by Connor Hellebuck. Rebound by Olsen. Jets can't get it clear. Coronado back to Perry. Great shots blocked. And here's Breeson. And I follow. We'll clear that zone into the Calgary territory. And it is Joel Farabee. Send over to Coronado. 43 seconds for the Flames power play. And here's another change-off. Iafallo gives it back. Back to Baru. And here's Morrissey. Morrissey to change over now, trying to send a pass to Bryson. Bryson could step it big on a goaltender. And under a minute remaining. And the Flames will now have a chance on the power play effort. One last push here for Zari. And he's almost ready to get back out there. Adam Larry set to go. And the Flames have ended their power play with only 40 seconds remaining in the second. And this will be full strength for the Jets. Can start off pretty good, clearly enough, and that what a great save by Connorello, but defenders are really up to something. They really have to start having a little bit of a major issue here, and they really are starting to get that contact big. They've got to see this to believe it of how that is going to change off. And therefore we end second period. 2 periods down, 1 to go. Only one changes the goal by Sarankovic in the first period. And a big deflection the other way, Joel Farabee. A little bit of a help for the assistant of the Flame. It's 2-0. We'll be back with you shortly here for the third period. And to these messages, you're watching the Flames Hockey on EA Sports. Hey everybody, welcome to the second intermission of the NHL Game of the Night on EA Sports. Only 2-0 to score by Calgary Flames, as with a little bit of a help from the Flames assistant, and to give over to Joel Farabee with the great shot of it by Hanley, as he made that first assist of the game to show how it's down. And what the big play and effort is, it doesn't mean to anybody. Here's the statistics of how they did after the second period. It was 29/15 shots on goal for Calgary Flames. It was 20/12 for the Winnipeg Jets. 1150/147 for the time on attack for the Calgary Flames, as they really took it off with a piece of it. 90/978 percentage here for the passing effectiveness for Winnipeg Jets. Too many turnovers in the way, but they're going to have to start getting some regroups here. 9-9 face-off wins for Calgary and Winnipeg Jets, and only 2-minute penalty kill without the power play it only makes up for one, as they already have stuck it down on the other side of it. Let's have your takes here, Son of Beast, of the Winnipeg Jets as they're starting to make a battle aggressive. Well, they definitely are playing battle aggressive, and I know that's going to definitely cause the changeover, and they're not really seem to be like it's a focusable to change over the line group. No setup plays are definitely starting to get when loosening control, and the big offense is starting to get a lot of picks plays for the Winnipeg Jets. They're starting to look for the first player to goal, but it looks like that the Flames are really starting to make that one mess up. You really have to see what the defenders can get off to it. Let's have it over to you, Roy, for the Calgary Flames. Well, the Flames definitely had so much aggressive on the timing, but there's too many turnovers in the way. That because of what happens with only the pass, and they didn't start communicating it really well. They got too many miscues. They're going to need to start getting some regaining of their communication skills. They need some offensive change. Strategy needs to be importantable, but the only thing that was a great enough save in this effort was great goals by Joel Farabee by Ganley on the deflection. But now they have to start waking up for the third period because the defenders are starting to get a lot of huge, strong effort, and the Flames are not. So let's see how they handle it. Well, the pressure only makes it on, so as there is a lot of room breathing for Winnipeg Jets, we'll see if they have their score on the board to give it a 2-1 or even up the scores. Let's send you back to Calgary, and we've got a big third period action coming underway in just a few moments. See you folks later after the game, and stay tuned for the announcements for the in-regular season tournaments after the game of the third period. We'll see you all soon for the post-game show. Now back to Calgary. The finish is on, and we are back here at Scotiabank Saddledome as we're ready to prepare for the third period. It all comes down to this. With the Jets and the Flames in the third period, let's see who takes it next. Alright there guys, this is what I was really looking at for. A one of a while, the biggest of it all was thanks for the Flames and for the Jets. They played very well. Let's see what your thoughts are for the second period recap, guys.
Well, it's pretty much how convenient it is, and then the turnoff had to be for the Flames. They did so well, confidently skating around here for a bit, and there's a little bit of a mistake here, playing some passes,
and there's pretty much not enough to get off to a right side. This is a big, dramatical moment to play on this offense. The zone doesn't really keep it for a while, but the only thing that happens with that is the Flames, they just have to make sure the pass effectiveness is enough to get through it.
Yeah, the same with me. It really also has to be considerately a better pass.
Defensive offense needs a little bit of communication, but now they need to start getting trained up. Here's that White Cloud, and this one it goes right to the crease, and he goes right over to DeMello the other way. Dylan DeMello skating across, fires a shot, another save made by Dustin Wolf. Wolf sends it around the net, now finds it over to White Cloud. He'll have it over again to Farabee. Past 2 minutes by in the third period. Backlund gets a smack off the wall. Morrissey's got it back that time. Send it away. Now finding the Nyquist. Gustav Nyquist now finds the toes. Bumps it up by Kuzmentsov. And here's again to Coronado. Coronado. It's around patiently. Now finds again in Kuzmentsov. Off to Paraquet. Outside Coronado. Backhander save again by Hellebuck. Hellebuck is going to hold it here with only 16:36 remaining in the third period. He's really like all into it now for Tsarenkovic. One of his best of his plays happens to be offense and defense. Big shots on goal. Happens to be only one taking the rebound. And then that pass gives it off. He's really going to get it all in credit. He deserves it. He really shows us his own rebound and has that great percentage. Yeah, this pass really made that one great. But only one thing needs to know about Tsarenkovic is the rebound in the first period. He's trying to hold things up, but while now he's behind Matt Coronado, he has to see how we can definitely hang things on. Still a lot of time left in the period. 2-0 to score for Calgary. And the win by Nyquist. This will be Salamansin. Off again to Velarde. Here's Velarde. Right toward the zone. With the shot, number saved by Wolf. Kuzmentsov with the rebound. Now has it sent a deep pass to Coronado. He's all alone. Backhander. Save and a dialed in by Hellebuck. Oh, what a nice save. This is really like the key emotion. It is terrific. Flying to Parade. He flies over to Strode now. Has it again to Tsarenkovic. Going for another takeoff. And the shot backhander is blocked up by Hellebuck. 15:32 remaining in the third period. and they're still ready to get things back on. What a nice save. You have to see this on this bad offense. That dialed in was so quickly. That aggressive really made that one with the pad sticked out by stopping on Matt Coronado. He got a nice and a beauty on the stoppage on his pad. That's close up. It's going to definitely kick it up. 15:42 remaining in the third period. There's still 2-0. And the win here by the Winnipeg Jets. And here's Paulson, now finds the Sandberg. And he kicks a swing to Solomonson. Lambert the other way now for the Jets. And here's Rosen. Rosen swinging in deep. And the ball snap stopped by Wolf. Olofsson now has it off again to Kuzmentsov. A send pass. Baroon with the turnover. Bryson shots blocked. Berg with the rebound. He sends it off to Zari. Zari the other way now for the Calgary Flames. Behind Olofsson. He shoots it. Another save by dialed in on Hellebuck. Bouncer on the board. Olofsson rebounds it. Now it's back to the Winnipeg Jets and back is Rosen. Fires it deep around the net. And Asmata will have a rebound over. Kick back again by Klopka. Here's Klopka right into the Winnipeg territory. Send to Zari. Zari in the wing. No chance room, not finding Mata. Mata. He gets swinging down and will send all the way down in for the Wolves to the Flames territory. Rosenkoff not finding Glevka. He really has to be quick here for Dustin Wolf, or else someone is going to get another chance at the goal. On a shot, big and ever blocking opportunity. It deflects it up right off to the goaltender and right to the wall back to Klopka. He's really like fighting it awfully. Not everybody's like good, but that's really a harder way to get through this. Hanley. Rebound by Connor. Winnipeg Jets the other way now for the Kyle Connor. Move around, shot over the net. Off the top of the net, and then rebound by Hanley after a save by Dustin Wolf. The Flames go back into the Jets territory. Here's Sharankovic for 2 and a shot. Another save by Hellebuck. Coronado rebounds it back to Mata. He can try to do it all, but he cannot get away with that. No contest zone. Man rush. Great save by Dustin Wolf. And it goes right back to Frost. Oh, everybody's been reacting to it so far. Dustin Wolf with a nice solid effort. Frost scores! Quick release effort. Now it's a 3-0 game. Well, what a nice save here by Dustin Wolf. This is a big inbounding to have that dialed in. Now watch this turnover here. He did that one, the look. Morgan Frost, see you later. That goes right into the net. Yeah, you get to see that. The tire is right in front of it. Frost is really like giving it up in a shot. He gets up with another goal. Cannot let him get away with that. Calgary Flames are up by 3 and 11:23 to go in the third. You gotta say no, but Morgan Frost, he's really like giving it what he can. And what I need to know about this is that the Flames really have done it again. They did so well. A lot of confidence, speed afterward. You have to be playing it on your own better behavior. And now the Jets, they're having an argument going on, and they're really trying to catch their breath. They got to be on the board. Here's an Armin Farabee, a fend off to White Cloud. Backhand or whatever, saved by Connor Hellebuck. And rebound by Coleman to give the backload. Winnipeg Jets the other way. Coquet shoots it. Another save by Wolf. Farabee takes it out. Now finding the Coleman. He's really got to give not a huge credit. That's another save by Dustin Wolf. You wouldn't see this one going by. Backlund. Finding the Farabee. Another save by Connor Hellebuck. Past the midway mark in the third period. Now here's White Cloud. He'll now make some new changes. We'll send it out of here. Bell will regroup. Royson and the Winnipeg Jets. Now here's another takeoff for the Flames. Connor Zari's back on ice now with Torre. Taking a smack down right toward in the corner. Going to have to put a payback. And a save by Wolf. 9 minutes into the third period. There's still 3-0 lead. Only one thing that happens to Coquet, he just had that one smacking it across. He makes a lot of hard hit. Take that one over, and then that goes down. He really is starting to give that one a defender look, and he really wanted to try to take a pay for it. There was a lot of head coaches starting to talk to Coquet. You have to be a lot more precise to try to take one down. Try to go with the breakaway chain if you can make it. With the winning on the third draw, and a little blocker save by Dustin Wolf. Behind the net, Sharankovic. Finding to Coronado. He'll find it over again to Frost. With only 8:40 remaining in the third period. He'll fire that one around the net to finding to Coronado. Here's another pass to Kusetkov. And finding to Parikh. Parikh sends a pass to Serenkovic. Another one shot off the glove. And rebounded by Serenkovic. This is getting a lot of huges on attack. Nobody's been like picking that perfectly and giving a good look at percentage to have that shot on blocks. Coronado, another shot, glove saved by Hellebuyck. Now we'll slow things down now as Winnipeg Jets, the year finds a Perfetti. And here's Adam Lowry the other way for the Winnipeg Jets with 7:40 to go in the third period. And bad changes. Coronado is on the rush. Takes it in. Another save by Hellebuyck. Did not know where the puck went. Trying to wait for it a bit. And he'll try to get it out of here. Oh boy, I thought this was going to happen with that. The goaltender didn't see it. Something happened with ball functioning. I think there might have to be like, where's the puck? I thought he had it there. That could be just how challenging it is. He's not sure where that come from. Here's a shot. There is stopped by Wolf with 6:18 to go in the third period. Check what happened with the last part of the game here for Connor Hellebuyck. Here's a good turnoff, and then the save. He wasn't sure where it was, but it was in front of the pad. He could have had that one taking his eyes off, and he just felt like, where's the puck at? He's not really seeing it too good, but it looks like Coronado, he was like swinging in for it a little bit. Backhander, and what a stop. That's a big shutdown. You got to give that effort now for Connor Hellebuyck. He's trying to keep it all he can. 15-21 over 2:33. Time on attack in the third period with only 6:18 in the third. Winnipeg Jets trying to look for a goal in, and they win it. Here's another big change off of Sandberg on a shot blocked by Klopka. And he'll send that out of here. Sandberg, the look to Scheifele. Scheifele, finding Ifello, blocker save again by Wolf. And this will have to broken up the play here to stop a bound as the net goes off. And that one broken down. Just a what a save by Dustin Wolf. This really was almost going to take a deflection. And one of his big saves of this night has to be Dustin Wolf. He's energizing and giving great effort. With anybody that played it for real, I have to say that Dustin Wolf is really making a save. Puts in a lot of dialed effort to try to pull a contest right on to Connor Hellebuyck. He wasn't sure how he would definitely try to keep it all if he could. Just during the final 5 minutes presented by Discover. As now the next face-off is now a 50-50 blank, and it's a win-off for the Jets. Blocked up, Kyle Connor outside of the lick again. On a shot glove, and I'm going to save again by Wolf. White cloud again, and find the bed. And we'll change over, now find the backwood. Backlund to swing to Farabee. Fires it around the net. Rebound by Coleman. And we pass 5:05 minutes remaining in the third period, presented by Discover. Bale. One time for Coleman. A blocking shot was on Sandberg and sets up the glass, and it goes right over again to Iafallo. Iafallo with the shot. Great block again by Whitecloud. Pass now to Coleman. Coleman trying to win around again. A give over. Bad pass broken up for the Flames. Maroon. He's all alone. Move around with the puck. Quick, never stop again by the goaltender. Bale goes down. Rebound by the Jets. Wolf will sell those things in with under 4 minutes remaining in the third period. This is what I could definitely see about Connor Hellebuyck. Only just play on plays, and then when it only takes a matter of effect of it to try to save and bound a bit, that's like in between periods of this. This contest really is starting to get down with a lot of faith men to have that all. And now that the Jets are really trying to give some a great stoppage by Connor Hellebuyck, that's really a save made. That's what's where you really are starting to show off. They really haven't seen what they can get there through it. Still a lot of time left in the period as Jets are starting to look for a goal in the range. Now to win. Here's a shot. Chance and make. High question. Saved by Wolf. Harry takes back to Strome. He could not get away with that. What a save. Olofsson. Backhander, stopped by Hellebuyck. Salamanson finds it over to Koke. Only 3:14 remaining in the third period. Here's Olofsson to give again to Strome. Strome changes up. Now finding to Zari. Zari tries to sell things up a bit. Under the final 3 minutes remaining in the third. Zari
Give to Parade. Now he will look to Strome. Find to Olofsson. Olofsson. Backhander, swing and a miss. Josh Morrissey now has it over to Koke. Koke on the rush. Goes right behind the net. Kusenkov that finds Serenkovic. And he's off to Strome. Strome with a little hefty look. Serenkovic trying to look for a backhand on the playing position. Kusenkov shot another one. Deflected off the skater and stopped by Hellebuck to cover her up with under 2 minutes remaining in third. What we have to say about the Colorado book is just really how baffling, and only one takes it all with the great save, and that really is a breakaway chain, move around, and then that's another huge step. This dialed-in effort is really going to have to pay it all when you can. Gotta watch for Colorado Buck's big save moment. Now sending it back into center ice, who had a better player of the game and player of the night? Default 11, your take. Thanks, Brody. And with the great taking on the great range, it's Dustin Wolf who played as a lot of dialed-in effort. He has been playing so well. Confident agent is turning out to be one way to another. And as for the Jets, Connor Hellebuck is trying to get a lot dialed in too. This might be also including the 3-star players of the game, but we have to see about it under final man of the first.
Only minute of the play.
All right, thank you so much. As Hanley will try to kick it out of here. We're under approaching final minute in the third period. Hanley will now swing it up and across to Serenkovic. You'll find into Coronado. Even though they're not in the playoffs, though, they will be played in their regular season tournament for the first time as the Flames, as the teams that did not make the playoffs. This will be something that's a little new. Oh, yeah, a new season's going to be definitely a little change. Can't wait for that. Stop by Wolf. Hanley. And the fans have been waiting so long of it. This will be a shutout win in Calgary. And they will have it around the net. It looks like Coronado is getting a lot of patience afterwards. Serenkovic and a bad save. Last push by Ali followed to get a goal on the board. DeMello going in. Squabbed up again by Wolf. And there it is. A shutout win in Calgary. 3-0 is your final score. Dustin Wolf, a terrific motion of his player of the game. Well, you have to be honest on that. Dustin Wolf have to be truly all over it. That's great dialed in, and his pick, this player of the night, does have it all when it counts. We salute to the fans. This has been a wonderful opportunity for Calgary Flames tonight. Along with the Ring of Fire, and it all happens to bring out for one. They win it in Calgary. Along with my broadcasting partner, along with Default 11, and my third commentary tire, and his sky partner with Charles Chucky, also known as Chuck. I'm Brody, and thank you for joining us for our biggest NHL game of the night, 26 on EA Sports. You've been watching the Calgary Flames hockey on Game of the Night, NHL 26 on EA Sports. Have a good night, and so long, and Scotty at Bank Salvo. Alright, thanks Brody. Time for 3-star players of the game. Morgan Frost with 1 goal in the game, and here's the biggest opportunity push. Only makes with a quick motion. The quick release happens. Second star goes to Yegor Serenkovic with only 1 goal, and only with the rebound in the first period, he happens to get passed by it. And your first star player of the game for the Flames, Dustin Wolf. 30 miraculous saves over by the Jets. They took a shutout win over the Winnipeg Jets. And here's how they did with the total statistics. 43 over 30 total shots on goal for the Calgary Flames over the Winnipeg Jets, but it was 41 over 19 for the Calgary Flames as the Jets are starting to push out badly. They didn't seem like it was going to happen like that. 1637 over 308 time on attack for the Calgary Flames. Then it was 91 over 79 percentage for the passing effectiveness for the Winnipeg Jets. Then 16 over 11 Winnipeg on the winning draw. 2-minute penalty kill on Winnipeg, and no power play goals for Calgary Flames with just only 2 minutes. Now we have that one out of the way, I will now present to you the in-regular season tournament. With all your support, I always appreciate to everybody who has been dominating it up to keep on playing for this part of the game. But as the new channel will be a better future, this will be moved to a secondary channel.
with the gamings, vlog, and everything. Except for our reaction videos and the skits, that will be something that's a little bit on the other side of it. And plus also with the animation of every skit of it, and with some little shorts and action. There are a lot of great motions here, and we are now presenting you the NHL in regular season tournaments. As for the first time ever, here are the teams that will be playing each, starting off with the Eastern Conference first, as we will have it on the other side of it. The 1 versus the 8th seed, as the Capitals will face against the Rangers. Then 2 versus 7th seed, which is the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs. 3rd against 6, which is Blue Jackets against the Panthers on the other side of it. And then finally, the 4th versus 5th seed is the Islanders facing against the Devils. Then, on the other side of it for the Western Conference, Blues will face against the Canucks. Then across, Predators against the Blackhawks. Then Sharks against the Flames. And finally, Jets versus Kraken. It's big on effort, but nothing will slow you down if anything goes out of the way. Well, as is being said, I hope you all enjoyed a part of a game of the night. And the postseason is underway soon, so we'll see you all in just few more games before the Stanley Cup playoffs of NHL 26. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you later for the in-regular season tournament, and we'll be back with you soon for next season of NHL 27. With that being in mind, this is Son of Beast, and along with Roy Cruz, thanks for watching, and so long for as a while as the NHL 26 gameplay dial. Until for another part of the game. Thank you and good night.
If you don't, somebody will.